We're going to keep this discussion going with the ambassador at the America First Policy Institute and retired gunnery sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps, Jessie Jane Duff, plus political editor at the American Conservative, Bradley Devlin. Want to get your thoughts on this one, Jessie Jane Duff, because, again, you served in the military, and that national anthem is way more than just a song.
Right. I think often when you're in the military, you take it for granted that every single morning when they raise the flag at 8 a.m., the national anthem is played. And regardless of where you are, you're supposed to stop, stand at the position of attention, and either have your hand over your heart if you're in civilian attire, or you stand at the position of attention, or salute the flag if you're in uniform. Even if you're in a vehicle, believe it or not, if you're in a vehicle and you hear that anthem, you're supposed to stop and sit until the anthem is over. So when we see players kind of take this for granted, I blame the coach squarely for this, because she just seemed indifferent and aloof when she was asked the question. She said, "I'm not even sure when the anthem was played." Come on. This is something that's been going on in sports for how long? Since my lifetime, your lifetime. And for her to act indifferent about it, basically, she should not be surprised that in Louisiana, they expect that their players who are receiving state funding and federal funding to support the national anthem. But it's a disgrace the coach has handled it this way, and more or less has just kind of dismissed the whole thing. Like, no big deal. We never stood for it anyway. We're in the locker room.
Bradley, that's kind of my point here. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Say they didn't know. That in and of itself is a larger problem. The fact that they don't know when the national anthem's being played. We're not taking it serious. And if we don't do it there, it will trickle into our day-to-day lives and kind of erode that civic pride that we used to have in this country here. What do you think?
Absolutely. And Governor Landry, thanks for getting involved. Reading that tweet back, though, it's time for the regents and everyone. Sir, you're the governor of the state. How about you get involved? How about you try to create some policies that actually cram down on these rogue administrators who have just destroyed civic pride across our higher education institutions? You know, these kids who kneel during the national anthem, or they don't come out during the national anthem. And it seems like that wasn't the context here, right? It didn't seem like Angel Reese purposely didn't go out onto the court. It was just part of the preparation. But when they do take a knee, where are they learning those things? Why are the athletes doing that? Oh, it's because they've been taught by lunatic professors and lunatic administrators at their college campuses to do this type of stuff. So you, as the governor, have the power to pass these kinds of policies, to force civic pride in education, to force, whether it's an athletic program or any other program on campus, to be oriented towards a pro-America stance and position. Don't pass the buck and put it on the regents or the administrators. They're not going to do it. He should do it himself. He should take action. I think a lot of people around this town and where I'm in, Washington, D.C., they wanted to take that kind of action. I've seen legislation from Jim Banks in the House on this type of stuff. And I think Landry could borrow a page from their playbook and do something similar in Louisiana.
Yeah, I want to change gears a little bit to this, Jessie Jane, because skipping our national anthem isn't the only example of woke ideologies, specifically in education. Now, check this out. After a series of new laws, 7 states are currently mandating LGBTQ education in schools. The 7 states forcing kids to study LGBTQ in school are Washington, California, New Jersey, Colorado, Oregon, Nevada, and Illinois, all Democrat-controlled states. Jessie Jane, your reaction, is this even something that the government should be forcing on kids?
No, this is just absolutely shocking. If I were a parent right now, I can see why so many are going to private schools or doing homeschooling, because any type of sexuality, why is this being taught in the schools in the first place? And we're only encouraging many children to question their sexuality, which we have seen has created an absolute chaos with the gender transitioning going on with children that are under 18. We've seen a lot of people threaten, if you don't allow this, our child will commit suicide. Really, the suicide rate is even astronomically high for those that have already transitioned. Mental health is something that seriously needs to be, they need to be engaged on when children are offering disturbed behavior, but to teach that this is what's appropriate in their lifetime. This is for the parents to teach, and it's such a distraction and a tragedy that they're wasting valuable resources on going down this path.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Great conversation. Jessie Jane Duff, Bradley Devlin, thanks so much.
Thank you.